competition and the values of that competition. But I've not seen any African country, make a statement. And I don't think it's a one country thing. It's a united front would have been better for everybody in this case. Everybody comes out and say, okay, this is what we want and this is what we don't want. We're standing together on this. And if this happened, I mean, African FAs should also have a voice in this thing, but they've not shown that they can even say anything. That's scary. But let's get past that and see what other things we've got to look into in the beautiful world of sports. First off, we can't result from yesterday's matches that were played. Don't forget that tonight Bayern Munich and Wolfsburg will be playing in the German Bundesliga, and then there are matches in the Italian Serie A. Leicester City Tottenham game did not go as planned. It was postponed. Once again, Tottenham Hotspur fixture lists are piling up. Chelsea are beginning to feel the tiredness. I mean, you can't blame them. There was COVID issue, there's injury issues, there's a whole lot. Playing against Everton, it ended 1-1. Everton has not really been in the best of form. But then Newcastle, and that's the thing that I wanted to talk about today. Newcastle are gradually going to look like the most expensive team that got relegated. I don't know if there's anything that is as rich as Newcastle. Well, in this of football, has anything been this rich? I mean this rich. But then January is just a few days away. All that talk about them being relegated can change. They're in 10 points out of 17 games. Damn. Only one game all season, 7 draw, 9 defeats. It doesn't look good. It's not looking good at all. But let's just keep our fingers crossed and believe that they will work magic. Okay. The team that is above relegation position, Watford, is on 13 points, so it's not really that far. A win and a loss for Watford will change the tide again, and then there's 16 points for Southampton, and then there is 19 points for Everton, and then there's 20 points for Brighton and all. So maybe they are banking on that it can change anything can happen. But I'm really, really worried that somewhere in the midst of all of this, Newcastle, with all the money that they are shelling out defeats. Like maybe the team with the most defeats in a season will win the Premier League. I don't know. Akiri Iriami said, innovator. I don't know when last I tuned in to listen to the radio, but I'm always on Instagram. I can still keep in touch with the latest in the world of sports. Thank you very much for that. I really feel honored. And Liverpool is beginning to, show to Chelsea that for every time you sleep, we're going to put that gap between us. Now, it's 3 points between Liverpool and Chelsea. 3 points is not much anyway, but it's something. And Manchester City, by virtue of that 7 goals they scored against Leeds, have also bridged the gap of the goals. The good thing is Man City, as bad as their start of the season is, they've conceded only 9 goals this season. Only 9. So they've not gotten into double figure in terms of goals conceded. They scored 40, conceded 9. They've got 41 points. Liverpool have scored 48. They can't stop scoring, but they've conceded 13. In that area is where they struggled a bit. Man City have lost 2, drawn 2. Liverpool have drawn 4 games this season and lost only 1. So we see how it goes out of 17 games played. Manchester United are still in 6th position. Arsenal are still temporarily enjoying that they are 4th position, pending when Manchester United plays before we will know. And Tottenham Hotspur have 14 games played. So they've got 3 games that are going to be rescheduled. Congestion of fixtures. Antonio Conte will need to work his magic and see how that goes. But then let's get past the English Premier League fixtures and talk about some of the things. Someone sent me a question. It's, hey, hi, Daphne. My name is Uduka. Do you think we should blame Thomas Tuchel for the draw with Everton? I don't think that every time the result doesn't go well, you should go and blame the coach. I don't know. Maybe it's a new rave, it's a new obsession, it's a new thing with football fans. But I think that I don't think that every result that goes wrong, the coach did not sign that I will win every game. The coach did not sign that. You have to understand that the circumstances are not really good. Officials are coming in thick and fast, and the weather is not good. The whole atmosphere, the whole thing about you're not sure. You can be planning for a match today. The match is tomorrow. You're planning for the game today. By after your training this morning in the evening, you hear that 3 or 4 players that you plan to use have COVID. Your plans have changed, and there's nothing you can do. or or there is the opposition team is not even going to be available. You don't even know tactically who you're playing against, what you're expecting. So I don't want to. I don't make football look like, oh, you win, you're good, you lose, they blame you. It's a whole season. Football is, especially in the league, is a marathon, and you have to understand that in the marathon, there are twists and turns, there are bends, just like the Formula One season that we saw. There are twists and turns, there are bends, there are ends to negotiate and all that. You just have to find your way and get to the very, very best position at all times. Eze Patrick, it's been a while. He said, "Good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Good to be here again. You never walk alone." When Liverpool is winning, he says all this. You never walk alone too. Are you guys going to win the Premier League this season? I don't think so. I think Man City will win it. Man City are in that place where they just keep hitting their stride and keep going. They're really not playing with the striker. It doesn't look like they're missing anything. I think that what Pep Guardiola plans to do this season is to run us straight with the Premier League, leave this other competition like the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and then focus on the Champions League. That's what I think he wants to. That's my thought anyway. But for the league, I think Man City will win the league. Ibrahim Abubakar, I say, "Good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Love you so much, man." Eze Patrick say, "Boss, what is the latest on the AFCON?" I don't know. I won't lie to you. And sorry that I'm talking like this, like, so it's dealing with this whole COVID shit, and then my whole truth is my tongue is swollen, it's my saw, and but we're going through it. I don't know anything about it because the signals, the informations are so conflicting. On one hand, so the ECA, the European Club Association, are saying they are not going to release African players for the competition. That's a very, very sad side of the conversation, because if they don't, and we go ahead and host the competition from the 9th of January, it will be a CHAN. It's going to be a CHAN, just a CHAN competition. It's not going to be AFCON as we know it. And I'm going to talk on the flip side to that one. Then there is the fact that Cameroon, this one is a fact. It's not like somebody's trying to spoil this for them. Cameroon is not ready equipment-wise in terms of the facility. They've had 4 years to prepare, but they are still not prepared. So, but this whole Africa and Guinea, because of pride, and they don't want it postponed so that they don't look like they're not forehand. But you have 4 years to prepare, you're not prepared, so you don't forehand, whether you like it or not. Okay? Would you rather people come and see all your inadequacies and then report it, and then the tournament still goes on? But then they're arguing that, look, we already have the stadium is there, all these small facilities, we can do without them. Only in Africa we have that. That's all. But then, for the sake of the quality and the integrity of the competition, I'm saying that, look, African countries, first of all, CAF and all the African countries should come together and react and say, look, we do not agree with the ECA banning our players from coming to play for us, because before they were club players for Liverpool, any of the European clubs, they are Africans, and it is who they are. And the international law states that players must be released for international competition. And I quite agree that law did not put into consideration a pandemic here, a pandemic situation. But we cannot be used as scapegoat. When you hosted your Euros, all players played for their countries, and they traveled even to countries where there is a high level of COVID and the rest. They traveled to different places. As in Baku, they were in Hungary, they were in Budapest, they were in Italy, in England, everywhere. They were crossing borders. Nobody complained. Why would all of a sudden now coming to Africa, playing in one country, Cameroon, not like they're going all around Africa, and then everybody is not seeing that it's this there. And then let's be very, very honest. Hi, Sonny Popola, how are you? It's been a while, Popo. How is it that now, when it comes to Africa, and I don't think that we've had more cases of Omicron in Africa than we've had in Europe. How is it that now in Africa you want to say the players cannot come to Africa to come and play? Like, Omicron is situated in Africa. Did we invent this thing? Or people just woke up and they want to punish us? You see, that's the reason why I was very happy with the position of Buhari on no flight coming, no Nigerian flight coming to your country. And your country too, no flight coming here. Let's take it like that. Okay. Greetings from Shala Football Club, Nigeria and Germany. Thank you very much. Greetings to you as well. So we as Africans, I can only say what I'm saying here on radio, but the relevant authorities like CAF and each of the federation should stand up and speak up. If they keep quiet, obviously power is not given. You have to fight for power. You have to wrestle it. Respect is earned by actions that you do, and sometimes the actions that give you respect could be very brutal. And to trample on the nation is on the people is for somebody to make an attempt and do it, and nobody says anything, then somebody else would take it up. So that's exactly where we stand. I don't know the whole political negotiation that has to get involved, but I think that if we go on with the AFCON, Patrick, if we go on with the AFCON as it is right now, it's not, in my opinion, that's not an AFCON, that's a chance, because it means that Nigeria will have to take league players. The league is about to start. It's starting this weekend. I'm very happy that NFL will play at the Teslim Balogun Stadium. Okay, sorry, it's not Teslim, sorry. Mobolaji Bank Anthony Stadium, which is formerly known as Onikon Stadium. I mean, I can easily go there instead of going all the way to Agege. I can easily go there and see games and feel very, very like in my zone-ish. Okay, even though I'm coming from Aja to VI, but I'll still feel like I'm in my zone, not like traveling all across to Agege, and then when I'm coming home, it's like I'm suffering myself. That's it anyway. Let's move further down and let's talk about some of the transfer gist, because I know that a lot of people are waiting for that. What Oyen from Owerri says, good morning, Nedafe. Sorry about your health. Wish you a speedy recovery. Thank you very much. And I missed not watching you on Monday and on Tuesday. You are my radio husband. Jesus Christ. Come on, stop. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, don't do that. It's not good. Okay, let's get that part. What do you mean when you say Alex Iwobi no sabi play ball, and he played for Arsenal and he's not playing for Everton? Well, the fact that you play for Arsenal does not necessarily mean that you're a good player, because people like Yaya Sanogo, people like Francis Jeffers, people like Pascal Saigan, Guy Clichy, no, not even Clichy, Clichy is a good player, Joan Giroud, they all play for Arsenal. Playing for Arsenal does not mean you're a good player. We're talking of quality, like in the expectations that we have. So let me answer your question directly. The expectations that we have, what brought about that conversation was people talking about creativity in the midfield, and they said we cannot have Alex Iwobi and then the coach cannot produce a creative team. And I said, you can't depend on Alex Iwobi for creativity, because he's not shown it anywhere that he's that creative. And the argument went back and forth. So in responding, I said he knows how to play ball. Because if you look at Alex Iwobi, let's take back the last 20 years of Nigerian football, Super Eagles, and even bring in all the age grid, under 20, under 17, and point to one person that plays in that creative hub, that number 10 position, and show me one of them that Alex Iwobi is better than. There's none. And I've done that research. I've stretched it back to them Friday Ikpo, Austin Okocha, his uncle. There's nobody that Alex Iwobi is better than. It means that in terms of creativity, we have regressed. And it has nothing to do with coaching, because there's no coach. Coach did not produce Okocha. Okocha was talented and he showed up. And Friday Ikpo was talented and he showed up. All of these players who played Mikael, they just showed up and then they did what they know how to do. Alex Iwobi is the worst of the lot. Okay? That's my point. That's what I mean. So I know that, okay, some people don't find it funny that I said that, but it is the worst of the lot when it comes to creativity in the middle. So, Oye, my radio wife, well done. I hope you're satisfied now. And that means that I'll get a plate of food when I'm ready to eat. Wifey. Thank you very much. Okay. Manchester United are interested in a move for Chelsea German defender Antonio Rudiger, because Real Madrid want him now. Manchester United. This Manchester United, they're very confused. They're very confused. I know that my big bros will not be happy that I'm saying this about Manchester United. And are hopeful that Ralf Rangnick can help them beat Real Madrid, Paris St-Germain and Bayern Munich to his signing. Rudiger, who is out of contract in the summer, is planning to quit Chelsea after he was offered less than £140,000 a week. That England midfielder Meslier, 22, has been offered to sign a new deal. Manchester United target Frenkie de Jong, 24, will turn down the opportunity to move to Old Trafford from Barcelona in January because of the English weather, according to the Netherlands midfielder. And that's according to his father, sorry. When you consider that Dutch players have come to this Manchester United safe, apart from Jaap Stam and Ruud van Nistelrooy, and then Edwin van der Sar, lately they've not been doing well. So you have to like look at yourself properly and say, am I ready to go do this one? Okay, Manchester United Borussia Dortmund and Norway striker Erling Braut Haaland 21 has warned Barcelona that he would consider a move to the Nou Camp unless the club are playing in the UEFA Champions League next year. Okay, so that one is sorted. And then there was this rumor, there's this story that the loan that Barcelona collected that they want to use to upgrade the Nou Camp. And I'm looking at that Nou Camp and I'm like, what are they upgrading? The loan that they collected that they want to use, they are saying that they want to use it to pay for the transfer of Erling Haaland. Well, Haaland, thank you very much for reminding them that they are a Europa team. So if they want to sign you, they should first of all go and qualify for the Champions League. But this Haaland self, not be him and them and Dortmund, they play Europa too. I do not Europa together. Well, let's see how it goes. Manchester United have a ready-made replacement for 26-year-old French forward Anthony Martial if he leaves as a Swedish winger. Anthony Elanga, 19, is set for a new deal after impressing new boss Ralf Rangnick. Okay, so that one is sure to be there. Anthony Martial that feels like he's a god of the himself. Roma boss Jose Mourinho is set to approach his former club Chelsea with an offer for 25-year-old England midfielder Ruben Loftus-Cheek. What of Tammy Abraham said? I mean, first few days he was doing some real good things, and then I've not heard anything about him lately. Arsenal interested in Juventus Brazilian midfielder Melo. What did I want to do again? As well as the Italian side 21-year-old Swedish winger Dejan Kulusevski. Okay, I think that one is so. But Melo, those guys that will come and be playing big man for Arsenal does not need them. Everton are interested in signing Dynamo Kiev's Ukraine international left back Vitaly Mykolenko, 25, for £20 million. Everton don't put their money there. That's all we pay. If I'm not going to sell it like that, more than just forget now. Manchester United have identified Leeds United Ilian Meslier as the best young goalkeeper in England. We hear you. But when they sent goalkeeping scout Tony Conte to watch the 21-year-old Frenchman, he considered. Where's that my Ghanaian guy that know how to laugh for me laugh? The day that the husband that wants to marry you, their family people now come. That's the day you now show your worst character ever. Okay, because may God not let our biggest disgrace come in the moment where the best people who we are looking for, our helpers, are coming to see us. May God not let our baddest characters to show up in the day when the people that we have been praying for, answers to our prayers, show up in front of us. May God not let our bad character show up that day. When you are such as like Man City, they like to embarrass people and spoil people's destiny. Everton are among a number of Premier League clubs choosing Metz French right back Fabian Courtois. Okay, former Arsenal midfielder Emmanuel Frimpong. They would call her from Arsenal. I see play matches for Arsenal. Has urged the club to sell Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang after the Gabonese striker 32 was stripped of the captaincy. They go sell him before. Aubameyang has already made up his plan. He wants to move. He's going to Barcelona or somewhere. So it's not a big deal about that one. Okay. Monaco sporting director Paul Michel has warned Manchester United and Chelsea that 21-year-old French midfielder Aurélien Tchouameni will not come cheap. We all know, but they will still pay. Don't worry yourself. Stop making noise, Monaco. We're not to get power. Manchester United have money. Their money is not a problem for Manchester United. It's hard to spend them. That they're focusing on. Newcastle United scouting department have been keeping a keen eye on the talent in the championship with Luton's 23-year-old English striker Elijah Adebayo a possible target, that lanky tall guy. Now the problem is Newcastle started this conversation with big names. They would even bring Neymar, they will bring Messi at some point. And then it now put down to some players in the top level of the Premier League, middle range of Premier League. Now they are going to the championship. This is them preparing for life in the championship if they're not taking. But then the gap between them and the other teams are not really big. So we can sit back and say, they will prevail, they will conquer. So let's not get too all worked up. Okay, as a Patrick said, but if Cameroon was a European country, we know how hard they would be sanctioned. Why is Africa always like this? Who did we offend? We offend the gods. Boss, was the Super 6 played this year? No, they didn't play it. They didn't play it at all. There was no Super 6. There's a lot of things that didn't go down this year. Confederation Cup, for instance, FIFA Confederations Cup didn't go down this year as well. So a lot of things that didn't go on because COVID have squeezed things, and then for the Super Six it was because there was no sponsor anyway. The Super Six is not really a decider for always elite. Super Six is more like a precision tournament, but well, there was no way for it to happen. The fact that Liverpool is not in the transfer news makes it look like they are confident the AFCON would go on. I beg go, he get as he be. Well, it will be good for Liverpool if the AFCON doesn't go because it means that their players will not leave for the little tournament. But it will be a shame for Africa to go on and play this tournament without, because it's going to be a bad precedent. Once this is set, it will be good. Now, let me talk about the flip side that I was talking about. You see, a father who always sends his children to go to another person's house to go and look for food to eat should not quarrel or get angry when that house that he's sending his children to go and eat begin to molest his children. That's what my mom used to say. Like a family that allows their children to go to other people's house to go and look for food to eat should not frown face when they begin to molest, like conk, abuse, and all that on their children, because you have given the right of power to other people. This whole decision of ECA that we're not going to release African players, I think that the real reactions is not even just making a statement like what Buhari did with the ban anyway, but not just making that kind of statement. Another thing that we should get past all those kind of statements is this is the time for us to fix our league. What is that thing? Growing up, let me give you a very good example. Growing up, there's always one person who is the first to buy color television in your streets. There's one person that is always the first to buy video player in your street, and then it goes from your street to your compound. And most times, the window of the first person is always the real cinema. People will gather, sweat, body odor. Wait, growing up, there was no body odor. I don't know. But back in the day, there was no really body odor like the way body odor is right now. Think about it, guys. If you think there was, remind me. And what pushed our parents to also like get money and go and buy their own is they don't want to see their children looking for loan, looking like now we poor pass. Okay, so they will work hard, they will save, they will gather money, and that day when they buy that, maybe it's for night, Toshiba, Akai, or Sony. Sony is very advanced. Sony is for when you really have money. You see them, they will not wrap it waterproof, they will not hide it, they'll carry it like that, the carton, they'll be walking. They normally come in from the junction with company motor. That they say drop me at the junction. They walk for the whole street so that everybody see that they bought it. And then if you go and buy that Sharp Toshiba Sony television, you carry the carton on your head. You walk the whole street from number 1 to number 10, like in our case. So everybody know that when I don't buy you, so they head. That's like an open invitation. That's like an open. So like in Yoruba, Mogbamoya. So that all the Mogbamoyas too, they will still come because you used to go to people's window. And people have to experience window shopping in your own house, right? But Africa should not do their own reaction of what is my child, what is our players going to benefit in Europe? It's about time we put that in here. If it is the quality pitches that is making them go to Europe, we've got to put it here. If it is the quality coaches that is making them go, we got to put it here. If it is the standard of media exposure that their league is getting, we've got to put it here. But the crowning glory, the chiefest of it all is the money. If there is plenty of money, I was having a conversation with somebody else. I said that Nigerian football is a $5 billion industry. So if we can harness that potential and assume like uproot the $5 billion, I don't think that there is any Nigerian player who wants to go abroad. There's $5 billion in the league. You think anybody would want to run abroad to go and play? No. South African players don't jump in the plane to go abroad anymore to go and play because you can play football in the South African league and achieve everything you dream of. What is the need to go to Europe and go and deal with racism, go and deal with winter, go and deal with all the stress? Okay, that's something that everybody should consider. But hey, Who am I? I don't know anything. I'm just a bricklayer trying to do bricklayer job. So I just hope that you guys got it right. Well, Chikelu Ifediobi, I don't know if I pronounce that name well. He said, Edafe, what do you have to say? I saw a write-up and I'm going to share with you, even though it is long. I hope that you would go through it and then give me your take on it. The conversation around the sex party is beginning to change. When you first said it, I was angry with you, but I'm going to share this with you. Jesus Christ. Okay, from G's Club Room 1, Wahala be like Onyi Alex, the Falconizer. Aha, she don't go around the whole Super Eagles. Ihan Acho, the guy with the big Omeru, the guy with the long Chidozie, the guy with the invisible. My mouth is like over here, Dico. Like Dixon. So it's Ihan Acho, the guy with the big Dixon. Omeru, the guy with the long Dixon. Chidozie, the guy with the invisible Dixon. He said Kelechi Iheanacho, Kenneth Omerua, and Chidozie Awazi, the sex party organizers, are all Oyi Alex shareholders. In fact, now Kelechi gave her money for the fake ass job. Okay, the sex party was the night before their qualifying match, and Instagram pimp handled the contract for the white sex party. 200K. Thanks for coming for all the babes present. Wow. In fact, the video clips, this is the part that is interesting. In fact, the video clip is very raw. Seriously, how can you guys be this careless? Kenneth Omero was the only married idiot there with a daughter and a lovely wife, Oma. In fact, it was FUCK till you're tired with enough drugs and weeds going around. Oh, God. Onyales came also with some of Awana Nollywood babes. The video clips coming soon. It will be post and delete so that they won't report this page. Aha, well, I don't know. But I'm just reading that for you guys so that you see. Alex, I need you in here to come with your footballers' bedmate. Bring all of them because it's gonna get raw. We have raw pictures and video footage of the sex party. 3 Super Eagles players organized, even if to an important Nigerian World Cup qualification match. So after that picture, it says, Edafe, what do you have to say to this? Bearing in mind that on a popular Nigerian journalist handle, Genotro was claiming that there was no sex party, that the players were playing computer game, PlayStation in their bedroom. So let me tell you how coaches will work. Some coaches would, Jose Mourinho, for instance, would throw you guys under the bus straight away. And many people say they don't like that. Some other coaches will die, will go to the grave with the truth. But you see, in this era that we're in, I can never deny for anybody anything. You know why? Phones are getting smarter and people are getting a lot stupid. So somebody, they come to you and tell you that somebody did something, you can just tell yourself, just respond and say, well, I know that I don't know what happened. I know the fit up. Because if you go and put your head on the line, that if you they go swear for something, they'll say your hand touch her, they go use that one swear. You see her, they go use that one swear. You take her. So if you not belong to all of those ones, you're free. But don't go vash for somebody else. They say picking where they carry for back, say waka pass market, then they swear, say, yeah, I don't touch something because you don't know what the hand touch. So in this case of these players, I've said it before that look, when the news first broke, my position was I can't put it past Super Eagles players. They are too randy, they are too indisciplined, they are too stupid. I said it before because I was in the same hotel with them for, if I had not been in the same hotel with them for like a week, I would not be able to say that. But I saw them and I was like, oh, these guys don't have control. Nobody can control them. When the news broke, I wasn't there, but I could put 1 and 2 together and say, yes, this really happened. But the way they were now acting. First of all, the player said they wanted to sue. And I was like, are you serious? Because I've also had people who work in the hotel talk to me like, I saw these boys, they didn't lose. I didn't know that they were this loose. I hear like regular Nigerians say, I've lost respect for these players. All these players are useless and this. I was like, okay. This one, I don't call themselves slave now, not the person call them, because before they blame it on the media, because people are very quick to blame the media, tell you that, because they didn't give you that fee, they didn't give you that fee interview, that's why it's attacking them. No, this is them bringing it upon themselves, doing what they did. If these guys decide now that, okay, we have video evidence and infested firewood, should not be angry that they have lizard as visitors in his doorstep. That's just the fact of the matter. So, I mean, I understand you guys first started by attacking me. I don't care. We've gotten to the point now where, things like this happen, you just laugh and say, okay, well, Nigerians know how to react in their own usual way. I think that the players got it wrong. All those people that are coming out to do image laundry, cleansing, that there was no sex party. There was sex party. Let's not lie. Let's not deceive ourselves, because when these clips will come out, you will not be looking like a foolish person. Your whole image, your whole integrity that you have will be wasted for some players that doesn't even care. They don't have. There's this thing I've said before, and I'm going to say it again. Nigerian footballers are the only community that does not use their wealth, their prosperity to prosper other people. Their own prosperity is just within them. You see musicians, one musician will make it big, and then bring in other people. Look at Davido, look at Whiskey, look at Burna Boy, look at even the Pisco and the rest of them. There's always somebody who benefited, who profited, whose career rose. Yes, there are some people too that their career died because of another person. It happens. It's Machiavellian principle. But you hardly hear that, this player that is not playing here is because the one that was playing before, when they retired, now took another person. Our players don't even keep the relationship that they have with their former players together going forward. So it's very, very hard. Okay? They don't do that. People don't prosper. You cannot go and put your reputation on these players to defend them. Just kill yourself, my dear. You just kill yourself. I worked too hard to build my own image through my own hard work and effort and God's grace to go and put it for footballers, because if I do it, they will not grab me interview. Thunder fire interview for interview day. What I want to take interview do? I'm not going to interview other people for street. I'm not going to interview people fans for street. Shoot. Not be the same football. They don't talk about the football. I'm going to interview fans. We'll talk. There's no big deal about it. So there was a time when I used to think that, you have to interview all these players, then they'll give you views. Now lie. I like to interview some of the best players and 7 views you get. So it don't mean anything. People are not interested in their stories. Their stories are not as fantastic as you think. So I think that's what the case is. But let's wait and see. They said they were going to sue people. I'm waiting for them to sue. To go to that kind of case. I like to go to court and report the case and see how it goes. But the thing is really trending and it's making the news. As Patrick say, while I be like Kuro, you're sick. The Ghanaian coach said the same thing about his players. African guests flee from our players. It is hard. It's not the girls that are the fault. It's the players. It's the players that are at fault. So let me be very, very clear. Women today, it doesn't matter whether you are a superstar or not. We all get all these advances. Everybody gets it. Even the guy hustling on the street who's struggling, the filling station, the flight attendant, the vulcanizer, the Okada rider, everybody, especially once you have a WhatsApp and they get hold of your number, then you don't want to know the amount of naked pictures that pops up on my WhatsApp. You got to have control. That's something you need to do. The players, I don't have a problem with players having their own, extracurricular activities. That's their business. But when you do it, please, don't do it at a place where it becomes a circus. And then you now expect us to run errand for you and try to be covering up for you. No, I know they do cover up for you. You're not paying me. The guy, the pimp, the people you give money to arrange your stuff, you should also give them money. Why do you even arrange your stuff and then you don't want to teach you anything? And then you allow people to carry camera, come inside there, and then you not come and you try to want to attack journalists, because to every Nigerian footballer or sports person, journalists are the weakest link to attack. But this time around, it's not going to happen. You know why? Because the people that are attacking you now are not even journalists. You know that everybody wants to trend. Everybody wants to be to their nut. Everybody wants to be gist lover. Everybody wants to ride Rolls Royce or Bentley or whatever, like Linda KG. So everybody wants to become a blogger, and bloggers don't have control. They don't have NBC control. They don't have anything. They don't get filter. They drop it at result. If like broke their account, they go open new one. They go appeal. So they don't fear. Now people who want to practice journalism say, okay, you want to keep a good name. Now then they fear. So if you know that you're doing this type of things and you allow them record you, okay. And I know that some of these players are like, what's the big deal? So what if my naked video comes out? What's the big deal? After all, what's it called? Tiwa Savage came out and our music blew. My dear, it's different to the European clubs where they play for, where you sign for. They did not agree with you to go and be showing your naked bola in public. If you do that, it's conduct unbecoming. Bernard Benjamin Mendy, I go to the column. We did for, I hope I'm not calling the wrong one, not the Chelsea one, the one for Man City. As he did announce, so Man City, they are moving on without him. They don't want to win the league title, there's no medal for him. That's so football bees. They will move on without you. So if you want to gamble your career because of 2 minutes apple from a coach, can you call me? Call it to Yoruba people, not concern you. You know. Yes, Chukwudi. Nwokoye. That's Nwokoye now. Nwokoye. Yes, Chukwudi Nwokoye say, okay, it's Benjamin Mendy. Thank you very much, Peter. Chukwudi Nwokoye say, Edafe, what do you have to say about Arsenal? Who are the kind of players that they should bring in and who should be let go? Aubameyang, number one, should be let go. There are not too many players right now that are dead woods. But if clubs come in, if there's a club that wants to buy, I don't know why they didn't send Xhaka to AS Roma. Now, Xhaka have his days where he's very good for the team. But Xhaka is also that player that is most likely, is always walking on thin ice. It's between good and bad almost all the time. Those kind of players, I don't think you should keep them for long, because when the demons come, they do worse. When the good comes, they're great. So right now that you have this team running on the shoulders of the young boys, Saka is playing the football of his life. Emily Rose Smith is playing the game of his life. Sometimes he goes off, I can understand, for his age. Players that they should let go, Eddie Nketiah should be let go completely. So that you know you don't have him, because you have him. The game, what's that game that they lost? There was this game that they lost 2-1. You see, Everton game, Arsenal should have won that game. But when you have players like Eddie Nketiah, another player that they should let go fast is that the worst player of all time, Nicolas Pepe. Let him go. Aubameyang should go. Not that I hate Aubameyang, but I think his mind is not in the club anymore. He sees himself like, oh, he wants to end his career playing in the Champions League and he's not there. Unfortunately, Barcelona that he's hoping to go to now are coming to Europa and might not even qualify next year. At the rate at which they're playing, they're going right now. So that's another conversation for another day. But they should let him go, because what it does is it frees up £350,000 a week for us now. And I mean, if they sign Dusan Vlahovic right now, they will not pay more than 150k a month, because he earns about 65,000 in Europe, in Italy for Fiorentina, 65 or 63. So if you give him 150,000, is a very big improvement. Arsenal still have 200,000 to play with for a salary for other people from off Aubameyang alone. So if you let him go, let's Granit Xhaka, who is on I think 150 or one something, go as well. You free up some money. I'm not a fan of Lacazette. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a fan of Lacazette, but he has impressed in the last couple of games that he's played. Is that convincing enough? I don't like players like that. You are a professional player. It's like coming on this show and I'm not delivering every day. I just wait for one day to deliver. It doesn't make sense. Lacazette have shown that he's in the mode of the Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, and Theo Walcott, only performing well in their final year when they need to renew contract. I don't like this kind of players. So I would also let him go, because if you keep him, but if you want to keep him on a 1-year rolling contract. Tell him like, look, now only 1 year will give you. If you don't do well, we'll terminate. That will be fine. But the other ones should go. Elneny. One of the things that I like about Elneny is he doesn't ruffle feather. He doesn't cause problem in the camp. He's happy to be with the team. He has a feel-good feeling. He's the kind of guy that people, can train with. You can use him as training material. He's just happy. He's the first to go and celebrate with the players when they score goal, even though he's on the bench. He's the first to jump up once the final whistle is blown and they're winning. I like it. The kind of energy you want. Another person that should be let go is Bernard Leno. Like, he should be kicked out of. I don't know if he's still in London, but he should be kicked out of the team completely. Like, those are players that you don't need. People who feel comfortable with losing, like they're happy losing. You see the energy of Aaron Ramsdale. Because of Aaron Ramsdale alone, you'll be praying for Arsenal not to concede a goal. Like, you just feel like this guy is working too much. Not even for Arsenal to lose. This guy is working too much for this team to make a mistake and then he go and concede a goal. Like, you just feel that energy. Okay, so let me use a player for example now. Winston Roma, back in the day, Winston Roma is the kind of player that makes you want to die on the field because of how he plays. See, the guy that played in the national team is different. I'm telling you, Winston Roma, or if you know Winston from Warri, there are certain players that play in your team, the kind of commitment, the kind of dedication that they give. Even it's across all walks of life. You're working with people. Let me tell you, when I used to work in Bild FM, one guy that makes me never to go to work late. Like, I don't owe him, but I see the sacrifice he puts into the work. And I ask myself, are we not working the same work? Are we not doing the same thing? If this guy is putting in this much effort, I can't disappoint him. It's Kingsley there. God bless him. I think he's the hardest working human being that I have seen in my life. And I pride myself as a very hardworking person, as a very committed and dedicated person. But Kingsley Dehe works as hard as Murphy Jemba researches before going to a show. Kingsley was working with us and he was staying in the office. He had a house. So he got married. He was still staying in the office. He would stay in the office from Sunday, coming on Sunday, stay till somewhere around Friday or Thursday, and then he would go home. That amount of commitment, that's the kind of commitment I see in Aaron Ramsdale. And those players that don't have it, they are sharp. I'm not sentimental when it comes to football. I've always said that if you're not ready to give your all, bro, shift, because bad attitude easily influence people than good attitude. So let me give you a very good example with social media. If you post a picture of a naked person now, naked girl or naked man, or some very stupid video, you will see thousands of comments and views and like and meme coming out of it. Then if TDJs give you 1 minute of life lessons, precepts that can change your life, or Alibaba or Aki Alabi or Gary V, people don't go there to see it. It's not important to them because the human nature easily absorb negativity. We're like sponge for negativity. So those people always say they're professional. No, it's not professional. When you start seeing your team captain not coming early to training, it influences you. We've heard people talk about, oh, I went to the club and I wanted to show that I can come early, and I went to training ground. Cristiano Ronaldo has already been there for 2 hours before me. That already tells you that guy. If you think say you're ready, they never born you. May your man get your belly, give me the born you again, because this is where Jesus said you must be born again. You got to be born again. The same for Messi, the same for people like George Weah, Thierry Henry, Francesco Totti in Roma, Alessandro De Piero in Juventus, and so on and so forth. Successful people always work extra, always put in extra. They don't have time. Like Mayweather say, look, when you look at his father's life, he told himself that if I go ever better pass my papa as a boxer and as a human being, I must put in 100 times the effort. So I'm not going to have time to play. Later, when I retire, I will play. And right now, he's playing. He's balling. He's balling, and he's earned the right to ball. But when you're supposed to be at work doing your thing, and you feel like that's the time you should be distracted, bros, sell them. Aubameyang, thank you for the goals you score, but also tell us thank you for the salary we pay you. We pay you more than you've ever earned in your entire life. Okay? Thank you for the goals you scored. Thank you for the FA Cup. But you also benefit from it. So it's just the two-way street of it. And then he should stay. Bernard Leno should go. Eddie Nketiah, that one was likely, but he should go. Again? I think I've answered your question on that one. Fortunately, we'll not get time again on the show. I wish we would get enough time. I will still push her further down. Chooks,
So good. My furniture guy from my shop guarantee furniture guy from Alaba International. It's a good morning, Elevated. Just enjoying the show, being under the weather. Me too. COVID came to me. COVID 21. This is not 19 again. COVID came to me. The weather lately, but I'm getting better. Nothing much to say. Just happy Chelsea. Jesus Christ. People are happy for that people's failure. Just happy Chelsea draw points, and that if the season ends today, Arsenal will play the Champions League next season. Looking forward to the weekend game. And are you on? Are you on weekend? Yes, I'm not gonna be on, but there's the sports lounge. You should enjoy it from 12 to 3. Weekend is my rest time, and I'm not really resting. I've got a lot to do. We are working on the production of my podcast, so myself and Emmanuel Boyaro, now we're editing. We're editing some of the ones that we've shot. We're editing because I fell sick. We couldn't travel anymore, so I had to come back to recover. But then we're working on it, and then there's so many other things that I've got tied up on myself, so I need to go and copy them. Meanwhile, if you've not seen the interview, the beautiful interview that Emmanuel Sebastian did with the daughter of John Obu, Coach John Obu, former Golden Eaglet and Flying Eagles coach, that interview is beautiful. According to her, she's a first-class graduate from the University College London, UCL. She's a surgeon, medical practitioner, but she also plays as a right fullback for a club in Gothenburg professionally. She came to Nigeria. She wants to play for the national under-20 state. Okay, so on Facebook, Ken Benjamin said, imagine Haaland giving Barcelona condition. Yes, live very so. As for Rudiger, no rival club is getting his signature. Now you get the club. All these people that they go, they argue for beer parlor. We don't sign Messi. And then when you walk up and say, bros, give me 200 and I'm 10 times Keke go house. We should no rival club. Now you get the club. Person will be free agent by someone. Don't you know that by January now he's free to sign with anybody? Say no rival club. I didn't agree on much. He say back at matter tire person now. Wow. Okay. And he went to say club where every player had the dream to play for. Now condition that they give them now before they decide for them. Even as I not go through this type of embarrassment, I just have to throw it in there. And let's just keep it there so that everybody could know their level. See, as bad as Arsenal, we know the Barcelona level. We not be like them at all. Yes, Barcelona fans. Eddie Alekins, they come and beat me. I did my house. I didn't go anywhere. I did my quarantine corner. Come and beat me. I know when I fit throw punch. If you slap me two, I fit throw one. Because me, I need to talk the other chick. No results. That scripture not the Bible for worry. The worry Bible will read. If you slap person one, person give you two. Because if you not say they play, you know do one again. And I say, be turn the other chick now for a Greek Bible, Jewish Bible. No, we not read Jewish Bible now. The Bible I read. I know this. I don't go work. Walk your home. And so my mother tell me that time. I don't go work. Walk your boy there. Omonga. We are going to win that ball. And so my mother did talk at that time. We are going to win that ball. That's why I take my break on the show. Where's Peter? We're not there. Come and wire them from physiologists. We don't know say we see the whole outside area. My brother from Worry, Pidgin is strong, He told me Pidgin English. I could ask myself, I did question my worriness because this Peter will know that you. Well, I said, anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me via the live stream, listening via the mobile application on Facebook as well as YouTube. God bless you. It's the Friday edition. We've had fun. Yes, what doesn't kill you, the sick can only make you stronger. So I'm here, I'm alive, I'm strong. I heard that time bros, I lead the talk of this COVID thing. I don't understand what you brought the talk of. I just say, well, my bros, so you know, go there exaggerate matters. It be like tie neck. COVID be like tie neck. Be like with a tie neck you well. And that's the only way I feel explain that to anybody. It be like tie neck. When you share, my living out with Peter there so that everybody go rest. Can press and put like that. I still remain in a match or something. The number 2 sports area. I hear you now.
Kalian juga pernah episode destinasi sport rapida della televisione fino a quello di mata dove bukan avuto seperti itu dia untuk dibahas di webinar moderna sudah semuanya perkara masuk bumi dan Nigeria player where the competitor usine as the guy walking away from that injury
I'm going to just go by my guy. I love it.